unpause my recording. Here you go. Recording started. Okay. Ayan, ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Let's start. Let people join.
Yeah.
People are waiting for since 10 minutes.
That's good.
Starting Malavika.
Hi, good evening all. Welcome. We're just waiting for other participants to join in. Thank you for your patience. Interim, we will just show you a couple of slides in there. We can start with a video of ours. Thank you so much.
Engaging blended learning program to help your students make progress with their English skills. Are you seeking a learning management system designed especially for English language learners that's easy to use? Discover how the Klik2learn digital learning hub can help you to bring a high-quality course to your students, save you and your teachers time, and drive efficiencies for your organization. Our interactive online English courses keep students engaged and motivated through games, animations, and rewards. They work well as part of a blended learning program, or as a course for students to continue their learning journey at home. So, how does it work? Our assessment and adaptive learning features guide your students to the right starting point for their level. Your students can improve their confidence in English from any device, anytime, with 80 to 100 hours worth of engaging course material. With Klik2learn, learning English is an exciting journey. Beginners start with our Journey to Basic Skills course and travel the world, becoming familiar with a variety of global accents. With this course, we even support students at level A0 with modules that cover numeracy and literacy. This is designed to help those with no prior knowledge of the Roman script. Intermediate learners start with our Immersive Journey to English course, traveling around the UK and learning facts about the country along the way. Animations and engaging grammar games make learning fun. And look out for our Advanced Learners course, designed to help students reach the level they need to sit their IELTS exam. The Digital Learning Hub also has a suite of collaboration tools to help learners on their journeys, such as a live chat feature to talk to students and tutors, a notebook to write exercises and memos, a voice recorder to practice speaking skills, an in-depth grammar guide, and meetings. The Digital Learning Hub is a learning management system that includes a reporting dashboard, which tracks students' progress, so you can motivate them when they need it most. It gives teachers oversight and moderators the ability to provide evidence-based reporting at organizational level. Contact us to arrange a demo or pilot and find out how we can make the Klik2learn Digital Learning Hub work for you and your students.
Thank you so much. Just a moment.
Pavitra, I recently
Thank you and good evening to all of you. We're just waiting for more people to join in. We can start with a basic introduction of ours. My name is Malobika. I have Ayan from my team, and we have Pavitra as well today. She's the speaker for the evening. Thank you so much for taking out the time and being a part of this session. So we represent a company called India Market Entry, and we are hosting a Notral training this evening. Notral is an initiative by India Market Entry team. We're just waiting for other people to join in, so we'll kick off a little slow and certain ground rules before we kickstart the program for the evening. Please do not unmute yourself. The mute has been kind of deactivated at the moment. So you will have an option and chance to discuss and obviously unmute and clear all your doubts and queries about the platform. So here we go. We start with the presentation for the evening. Just a moment. So today here we are, we're talking about Klik2learn. It's a UK certified English program. I'm not sure how many of you have seen and have done your research before you joined in for the training this evening. It's a huge platform, globally recognized, which is finally launched in India. And believe me or not, Klik2learn has been functional and working in India for more than a decade now. It has done a pilot, it has worked in several organizations and a lot of NGOs and a lot of non-profit organizations as well. Today we are here to tell you what exactly Klik2learn has to offer. It's all about the platform. We will run through a small demonstration of the platform and of course, clear all your doubts if you want to associate with Klik2learn platform. So this is not a tuition. It is not a spoken English. A lot of people understand that if it's an English journey, it's an English platform, it would be surely related to spoken English. It isn't at the moment. A globally accredited English certification program is the talk of the evening. I'll quickly launch a poll. We would like to keep the session as interactive as possible. We want all of you to participate actively and tell us who you are, what you're looking for, what's your expectations for this particular evening. And please go ahead and vote and tell us what exactly is, what can describe you better. So are you an edupreneur? Are you a tutoring center owner? You're a teacher, educator, planning to start a center, or if it others, none of the above. Kindly go ahead and click on the poll. It will help us to shape and customize the entire session based on who you are and understand and address all these issues and concerns for the evening. We have a few more seconds. Kindly go ahead and please vote. We have only 9 participants who have voted so far out of all of us. Kindly go ahead and vote actively. So currently we have more of our teachers and educators who have joined in today, this evening. Thank you so much for taking out your precious time to all of you. We'll still have a couple of seconds more. Okay, great. So we can end the poll for this evening, and the winner is educators and teachers who are an active part for this evening. Now, moving ahead to the presentation for the evening. Just a moment. There you go. So we are proudly introducing Klik2learn. Klik2learn is a globally accredited English learning platform that combines classroom teaching with an AI-powered digital journey to deliver real, measurable language outcomes. We all have, I'm sure all of who are part of this evening know what is AI, have heard of this buzzword AI. But today we will see how it can amalgate with English learning, with this journey, and make life much more simpler and easier. What do you think? Now, a little bit of history about Klik2learn. Klik2learn has been founded, directed by Anne Attridge. She could not join us this evening, and you will definitely get to interact with her actively in the future. And it started its journey in 2012. In 2014, it got its first recognition, which was CEFR, Aligned Digital Learning Pathway. Moving on, it got its next accreditation by City and Guilds, which would be also a part of the certification process. All the students who are actually completing the journey with Klik2learn, that would be the certificate, or that would be the organization who will be issuing the certificate to them. Moving on, they've also received a global expansion and SQ endorsement at 2020 and 2021-2024 British Council Elton's Awards winner. It's a very, very proud moment for the organization to receive such prestigious recognitions around the globe. So here we are, without delaying further, today's speaker, Pavitra. She's a very, very senior resources. She has been working with Klik2learn from more than a couple of years now, and she does a lot of active training for the people who are associated with Klik2learn platform. She supports and delivers and demonstrates all the Klik2learn online hub across diverse learners groups in the UK. She's a champion, and I can say and I can vouch on that she know it all when it comes to Klik2learn platform. So she would be addressing and kind of answering all your questions, which is more technical and more related to the platform part. And rest, I will take care for answering all those questions to you. So Pavitra, over to you. I will go ahead and mute myself. I'll move on to the next slide. Let me know once you're ready.
Okay, thank you, Malabika, and hello, everyone. And as she said, my name is Pavitra, and just to give you a little background about me, my education is a degree in education and a master's in English. I have worked across universities and career institutions, private language schools, and with corporations. So with this kind of a mixed experience that I have, what really matters to me is to have learner journeys that are scalable, measurable, and effective for all our learners. And Klik2learn, the platform that I'm here to represent, gives me all these and more, right? So I'll vouch for it. If when I was working in either the institutions or in the corporations, if I had access to something even close to Klik2learn, what it offers, I think my life would have been a lot easier. So with that said, let me introduce you to our CEO and founder, and that is Anne. I don't have her picture, but I promise you will meet her yourself. So as Malabika said, Klik2learn is Anne Attrid's brainchild. So Anne is the founder and the current CEO, and her education and her career closely relates to what she has built. She has a postgraduate diploma in English language, in education from Cambridge. And she has worked for over 25 years as an educator in schools, in higher education, in private language schools, as well as a teacher trainer in universities. She has had 4 years of research. She has done about 4 years of research in linguistics, and the focus was in intelligibility of English language. That translates to English being a skill, not just a book knowledge that you acquire. So the language that's spoken, that was her focus. With that kind of backing, the Royal Society of Edinburgh commissioned her to start Klik2learn as an innovative way to teach English. She came up with Klik2learn, and for the last 12 years, she has been working in refining the product and reaching it to people around the globe. So if you look at all the prestigious awards that she has won, if Malbika can go to the next slide. So all the do we have that? Yes. So if you look at all these awards that she has won, she and her brainchild has won, this is proof enough to let us know about what kind of dedication and hard work went into building such a quality, such a high quality, and something that is, that speaks of longevity. So this is where we are. The most recent one was in 2025. I think she was the finalist in that. So, but we have 2024 displayed here. The mission is she has the mission of Klik2learn for Anne is to make English accessible for all learners, regardless of background or economic level, and help them enhance their careers and life opportunities through competence in our shared global language. And nobody has any dispute about the English being the shared global language. So moving on from here, this tells you, this gives you a peek into what Klik2learn offers. It's not just a language platform. A lot of thought has gone into it. So moving on from there, I would like to show you the learning pathways for students as well as for tutors. Both of them are aligned. So the tutors and the learners are aligned. What makes this platform powerful is that the learner journey and the tutor journey are aligned as per CEFR. CEFR, for those who are not familiar, it's the European framework where we give, A0, A1, A2. That is what is CEFR. And the students have guided step by step. They're guided step by step through learning, assessments, and certification. At the same time, the tutors and organizations have complete visibility into the progress and intervention points. So if we go into the tutor slide, the learning pathway for tutors, the next slide. Yeah, in this you can see it starts with the placement test, which the tutors have high visibility to, the reporting dashboard, and this is how the tutors also work along with the learners. Now, let me go on and start the demo of the hub. So any questions? Okay, the questions are for later. All right. So
Yes.
I'm going to go start. Yeah, I'm going to share my screen now. Thank you, Malavika, for sharing.
Thanks,
Let me
Pavitra.
go. Is everyone able to see this?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, great. So all right, thank you. All right, guys. So my presentation today is going to focus on three main components. The first one, I'll talk about reporting, and then I'll go on to tools and assessments, and then I'll move into the courses. So we all know who the stakeholders are in this. The main stakeholders are learners and teachers. So let me start with the reporting tab. The first one that I want to talk about is the organization data. I have chosen school data here. Under the org data, the teachers and the organization can look at the progress of the students, each of the students one by one. So you can see, if you look at this, you can see what the first student has done, what the third student has done, and it's all broken down by the activities they have completed and the time they have taken. So how is this impactful? This allows the teachers or the tutors to understand the pain points very early on. And then the interventions can be targeted early on. So how does that help the organization or individual teachers? We can ensure that all the learners are moving at the same pace. If it's a group, then all the learners are moving at the same pace. If it is just individual students, then they are again following the timeline to complete each level. So this is very powerful data for the teachers to navigate through and to understand where their learners are. The next one is under snapshot reports. This gives insight into monthly and weekly reports. So if it's an educational institution with many students, then this data is gold, because this gives the progress of students, of groups, from week by week or month by month. And what is the impact of this? It can be used in parent-teacher meetings if it's a school setting. If it is, let's say, an organization, a career a career institute or an academy, then this can be used as data to for in your quarterly reviews, or to sit down with your group and show them that this is the progress, this is where you should be, to reward them or to nudge them forward. Monthly is the same thing. The third one is my report, and this is for the students. They have it in their dashboard. It doesn't have anything here, but what that does is it tells them what have they completed, if they have completed anything, what have they completed, and how much is still left for them. Like like you saw in the earlier slides, one of the intentions of using such a digital board is to encourage self-learning, right? So that's what this does. When there is such a visibility of data for the students and for the teachers, the students are encouraged to understand where they are and where they need to be, and of course with the tutor help. Now, let me move on to the next component, which is tools. Under tools, we have all the tools that the student will require within the platform. Notebook, as you can see, it opens on, and if they are, as they move on with their journey, there will be many instances where they would have to do a writing activity, or the teacher will give them a writing homework. This is where they go, and this is where they save the activity. So if I go, maybe I want to write about myself, that's the homework. Probably write about yourself, the very first homework. I usually, as a teacher, as an educator, I speak as an educator now, right at the beginning, we try to take samples of our students in writing and speaking, because as they move on throughout their journey, we can then we can then compare and see how they were and how they are. This is good for reporting, number one. Also good when you have your one-on-ones with your students as an encouragement. Look, this is the way you have made progress. You have conquered this, this aspect of grammar. Now it's time to conquer this aspect of grammar. So I find that very, very useful. So here we go. They write whatever they want to write about themselves, and they save. When they save, it is available for the teacher, and the teacher is then able to go in and see everything that the students have saved. Teacher can then give the comments, which is right here. I can, whatever I want to say, you did great, make sure that you use right punctuation, whatever I want to say, because I see some errors in punctuation. Whatever feedback the teacher wants to say can be posted here, and the student can actually redo this. The teacher will again be able to see it, and it's all under one platform. It doesn't go anywhere. Now, what's the impact of this? Again, as I said, I don't want to keep repeating. It's good for the students, number one. Second thing is, it eliminates the need for tool switching. So what I mean to say is, let's say they're doing a reading activity and they have to write answers for the passage. Then they don't have to switch over to another word or grab a notebook to write the answer. It's all in there. So by eliminating the need to switch tools, the retention, the attention retention of the student is preserved. And as we all know, the learner's attention span, or anybody's attention span these days, is not too high. Everything is 30 minutes, 30 seconds. Reels are 30 seconds. You have YouTube Shorts now. So it's similar here too. The second advantage of having the tools right where they need to be is there is no extra cost either for the organization or for the student to invest in external software. Everything is built in. So the three tools I just completed talking to you about notebook and audio recorder, as the name suggests, when they need to do a speaking activity, it's right there for them. Messages are communication between the teacher and the student. And that's and everything is right here. Assessments. Let me now move on to assessments. Without assessments, there is no pain, no gain, right? So assessments is the pain point. They have to be able to recall what they have done. They have to be able to, show in practice what they have done. So this is the interface of the Digital Learning Hub. Assessments, I'll talk about assessments first, because the journey starts from the assessment, which is a placement assessment. So here is a very simple CEFR, Common European Framework reference. Yeah. Well, under my login, I have already completed it, but that's what this is. It's the test. It's the learner's test that they take, the first test that they take, which at the end of which they either get placed in A0, A1, A2, or maybe even B1 or B2, right? So other than that assessment, we also have automated short skills test and full English skills test. Again, part of them are automated. The tutor does not have to mark in the short English test. It tests them in reading and listening. And here, the full English test will test them in reading. Sorry, the tutor will mark them in listening and speaking. And the other two are marked automatically. Now, these are extra tests that we have, or assessments we have, other than the ones that are already embedded in the system. How does this impact a teacher or the organization? Again, the material is all CEFR aligned. So when the student completes his assessments and gains his certificate, his learning is complete. He will have all the 4 skills. He would have mastered. I want to say mastered. I'm positive I want to say mastered, but at least he will be proficient in all the 4 skills by the time he completes his B1, B2 course. Second is the tutor does not have to spend time making assessments. They're already there. So it saves precious time so that he or she can actually focus more on the pain areas that the learners are going through and bring them up to speed. So that's the second impact of having assessments already ready for the students. The third thing is this is like, scalable, of course. So all the groups, if there are groups, and all the learners, all the groups across multiple locations will have the same content. They will go through the same content. So there is uniformity that's maintained. So at the beginning, so far we have seen from the beginning to now how things are scalable, assessments and the reports are highly visible so that the organization, the tutees and the tutors know exactly where they're going. Have one more, I would like to also point out, if we have something like this, a placement test already ready to go, which will place them in their whatever level as may be, it also removes the guesswork out of placing a student, right? So there is no ambiguity. The learner knows where he is and where he needs to be. He knows his goal, where the certification is. The tutor knows where the learners are. If it's an organization, the organization knows where they are. And then, accordingly, the journey begins. So now let's go into the journey and which are the courses, the crux of it. Again, our main stakeholders, I keep repeating this, are our learners and our tutors. So let us go to basic skills. Now, those of you who were watching the introduction, the animated introduction, as you walked in, you saw this page. If there are A0s, just to give a reference to who is a A0, A0s are typically people who have never interacted with the language, no exposure to English whatsoever. So even for them, there is a module that's built in. And this, as you can expect, it's just bringing them to or orienting them to the sounds and the letters of English language, starting with simple, very, very simple hello. Because some people,
Hello.
Hello.
and that's it. Yeah. So this, again, as I say, this is for the audience who has never, ever had any exposure to English language. So all the activities in this, each page has about 10, right? All the activities throughout this airplane module are designed for people to understand the flow of English letters, the sounds, recognize the sounds, and very simple things. And they're bite-sized activities. Nothing beyond 30 seconds, nothing beyond 30 seconds. So what does that do? How does that help? That the learners, again, the learner retention is high because these are all activities that are gamified. You see these little coins here. These coins are earned by them when they finish their activity. I'm going to do a simple one. This will be too simple, but I'm still going to do this. So here we go.
Huh.
Did someone hear this? This was the H.
L.
This was the L. This is the E.
O.
There we go. So I completed this. So if I were the student, well, I got a smiley too. So I did good, I guess. So here, what I got here was I earned the coins by completing this activity. Now, if I want to retry, I can. Now, that's the beauty of this entire platform and, the way self-learning kicks in. If the learner at any point feels that he didn't understand, he can repeat because they are repeatable, they're short, and they are skill targeted. So the coin systems in this are for the student to pick up items. So there's a passport here, and the items are in the form of vocabulary. They fill up the case, and then they move on to the beginner level. And it's true now, this kind of gamification is true of all the modules. So if you look at, I'm going to take you to another this is the beginner level now, another small activity, and I'll go to something with grammar. Okay, so this is a timed activity. What I'm going to show you now is with a timer, where they have to decide which is the correct auxiliary verb that goes into making the question or the statement correct. So here we go. I know you're all on mute, otherwise I would have asked you for the answer. So here we go, the next one. There we go. Do you like Sydney? So do you have a job? All right, so you get the idea. You get the idea about how it's gamified. Now, I do want to stress here that gamification here in all these modules, across all the modules, basic modules, is not for entertainment. It is a strategy to retain learners, not to let them drop out. Yeah. And it's also a strategy to encourage self-learning right from the beginning, strategy to have their attention span, and to have them focus on one aspect at a time. Gamification also means retention is higher, the vocabulary they have learned is higher, the grammar skill they have learned is, even though they're very basic, is higher. So let me go to one of these. So I'll come to the end of this just to show you something here. All right. So we are here. This is the last one in the basic skills. So as they come to the end of basic skills, this is A2, the level A2. The last one is a quiz in everything they have learned from A1 to A2. So very neatly arranged. And let's say we can take places. They can choose what level they would like to test themselves on. So once they do that, here again, they have two options. They have to now select which one is the correct one. Now, this kind of decision making, they have to take a decision on which one is the right one. Again, the strategy behind it, the learning strategy behind it is over time, non-native speakers will move from thinking in their native language to thinking in English, because decision making comes from thinking in that language. And that is a proven thing that has, and almost all through all the activities will have some amount of decision making there. So I would like to also show you on the top, you have the taskbar here. This is the index, the course index, very clearly giving them the elementary level, what are the modules they learn. At the A2 level, what are the modules they will learn, right? And it also gives the overview of what are the topics they'll learn. So I spoke about visibility for the learners. Here we go. This is absolutely great visibility here. They know what they're doing, no ambiguity. The brain here is the vocabulary. It talks about the vocabulary they have accrued. So I think I did this with the class once, and I had bought these items with my coins. So what I had done was with my coins, but this gives them this is how it moves from one module to another, very well guided, no guesswork. They just get moved on. The coins, the strategy behind the coins, it's simulating a teacher in a classroom who gives a gentle nudge to the students to move forward. I do want to stress here some of the outcomes that we have in these modules. From A0 to A2, by the time the students get here, we see an increase in confidence and retention of the skill. Not just retention of the learners, but retention of skills they have learned. Now, at the end of this, they get to earn their certificates from Klik2learn for each of the levels. So I hope this was clear about the basic skills, because now I'm going to move on to our B1, B2 course, which is Journey to English. This, of course, is a much more intense course than the basic. And if you look at the overview of the interface here, it gives them, this is where the learners get to earn City and Guild certificate when they complete this. And very clearly, it tells them what is the minimum score that's required. And it also tells them about completing all the modules. So let me go up and show you, this course view overview shows the learners and the trainers and whoever is interested, all the topics that are covered, all the grammar points that are covered, and the module description. So I'm going to move on to start course. As you can see, we have English, this whole module is split into English for everyday use and English for work and study. Each of these has 5 modules in total. And every module will give the topics covered, grammar points, and all the activities that are included. Again, it's activity-based, and at the end of it, the last 2 activities are tests. The first one is the vocabulary, And if they don't get the minimum that is required, the test for grammar doesn't unlock. So they'll have to go back, do this again, and then come back to do their grammar test. And the grammar test is in the form of a game, which includes a video of a true story. And then they are given options to, depending on what is the skill that they're being tested on, then there are various decision-making questions, fill in the blanks, and it goes on. So let me go to this module now. As you can see, the module is spread across and all the activities are spread across. I'm going to show you a reading and writing activity here. From Journey to English B1, B2 modules, all the learners will be trained in all the 4 skill sets: reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Even somebody, who does not know some of the hardest English accents, Scottish accent being the hardest for me, at least, Irish and Scottish, I think by the time they are done, they can understand any accent of English from the world, anywhere, and they'll be ready to work in any environment. In corporations, they have to deal with customers that are not typically from India. And those customers or those clients that they're dealing with, let's say from the UK, they're not going to be newsreaders with clear-cut accents. They are going to be regular people with accents that are true to their region, just like we have our own accents. So anyway, let me go to reading for ideas here. I'll just show you, just to give you a snapshot of how this works. As you can see, we talked about tools earlier. All the tools that the learner needs are right here embedded. The first one is a notebook. This is a dictionary. This is the grammar guide, which tells them concepts if they want to learn more about a grammar concept. For example, present perfect. Somebody wants the difference between present perfect and simple past. They can look it up. And they also have access to an audio recorder. So of course, this is reading. We don't need the audio recorder, but let's move on. Okay. There are 5 paragraphs here. So the first one is already here, and this is the question. So I am the student. Here I go. I have my notebook right here. So I give a title, Module 1, Activity 19, and I start typing my answers, whatever my answer I want it to be. Once I save it, my teacher is able to see. But I'm not going to save it right now. I'm just going to collapse it, go to my second paragraph, read it, see the answer, and come back and write my answer here again, record it, and move on to the next one, and this is how it goes. Once it is done, my tutor has access to it. And like I showed you earlier, she will be able to look at accuracy, grammar accuracy, response accuracy, right? And all the vocabulary that I have picked up from here will be available for me under my words. So under module 1, all the vocabulary that I have learned, I can see it right here. So this will be my revision before I take my test, right? So I don't need to write it down because it's right there for me. So I look at all the vocabulary before I take my test. Each module also introduces them to phrasal verbs and idioms. As we have a lot of educators here, all of you know the importance of phrasal verbs, but especially when we are talking to a native speaker. And of course, idioms, because they are very, very cultural. So they are sprinkled all through the modules. This blue thing that it says here, find out more about this part of the UK, is good reading material for picking up new vocabulary, number 1. Or it's also good to understand a different culture. we are talking about global jobs. No job is really local anymore. I have worked from right now. I live in Bangalore, and all my students are in the UK. I teach the students in UK. I work for Klik2learn, which is based out of UK. So that's how global we have gone, and that's how global our language is, which is English. So let's move on from this. So when we say find out more about this part of the UK, it's not just learning about the UK. Of course, it's great to learn about the UK, but this is not a geography lesson. This is more about picking up vocabulary and just getting a peek into a different culture. All right. So let me go to another activity. Let me go to maybe a speaking activity. All right. Okay, let me see which one. Okay, I'll see if this is speaking. This is reading. All right. So this brings me to show you something very crucial as a trainer or as a tutor. So if you were my students and I wanted to prep for my class today, and I wanted to do a speaking, the outcome of my class had to be a speaking class. And like this, I have forgotten which one is speaking. All I need to do is come to Curriculum Toolkit. This is specially made for teachers like me, who has a bad memory of knowing where is what. So come here and let me share this. So my outcome, here we go. My class, you guys, I'm sure you're B1, B2. So my outcome, I want it to be speaking, and there we go. I have all the activities that are ready for me to use under speaking. So I can choose any one of these activities here. I can choose this, and I'll share this. I can choose this, and see the outcome is speaking, and I start this. So you listen. This is more about stress, to understand stress, word stress and sentence stress, which is so much a part of language.
Bottle.
Bottle. So the stress, there are two syllables. The stress is in the first one. So it goes on this way. Yeah.
Department.
And speaking also, a lot of times the tutor, this is where the tutor comes in. The tutor gives speaking homework. So if the theme for the week is, let's say interacting, it's interacting with your boss. So the homework can be speak in a few sentences, record how would you approach your boss to take your team out for, let's say, for a powwow outdoors, right? This is if it is a corporate setting. Of course, if you're teaching at a younger level, or just someone who wants to learn English, then it could be something simpler. Something like, what are some of your favorite hobbies and why are they your favorite? Describe each one of them. Or what are some traditional holidays that are prevalent from the part that you come from. Yeah. So various things, and then they go to audio recorder and you have it right there. All right. So I am moving on from Curriculum Toolkit. Right, I'm moving on from that back to Journey to English. That's where we were. Right, so this is where we were, and I'm moving on to that. So at the end of all the 10, when they get all the 10, when they complete all the 10 modules, they get their certificate. And of course, they have to complete all the assessments too. When they download the certificate, that leads them to awards page. This is where all the certificates that they have earned so far will be available to them. Again, there is no need for them to have any kind of access to the world outside this hub. This is a world in itself, has everything right there. So you have the certificates here, all the achievements of completing the course, and then the basic. These are Klik2learn certificates, of course, not City and Guilds certificate. I say City and Guilds because that can be used for employment in many countries in Europe. So that's why I'm stressing on City and Guilds. All right, these are the things that I collected earlier, so they're available for me. All right, so now our students have completed B1, B2, and they have taken their assessments, all in which were interwoven and also the external. So they are now ready to move on if they want to advanced. So there is an advanced module, but let me now go on to more resources, more learning material. I have spoken about most of them, so I really don't need to go over them again. But this is something, again, a absolute gold mine for the teachers and for students. Reading for fun. It's like a library, a digital library. Again, these are graded reading material, CEFR graded material. You can choose from easy, medium, and hard. Excellent for students too, because those who are hard pressed for time can read it when they're stuck in traffic. My city always has traffic jams, or when they're waiting for a long traffic signal to change, or if they're just, having some free time, either at school or at work or wherever. This is like a digital library. So these contain, I'll go to medium, these contain fictional and non-fictional reading material. So let's look at this. A lot of them I remember from my school days. I'm sure you do too, right? The Monkey and the Crocodile and the Emperor's New Clothes. These I don't think I have studied these, but these are again non-fictional, and it throws light on a lot of things that we probably wouldn't have heard about. So that's why I really, as a tutor, I find this extremely useful to give as homework, because of all the new vocabulary they pick up. And also, when reading and writing are like two sides of your hand, the more you read, the more you retain. All right, so I'm moving on back to where we were. So that was reading for fun. Another, yes, this was it. So I'll go back to, let me go back. Yes. Last thing that I want to talk about is the Speak English module. This is the accent training part. It is everywhere, but this specially is like a digital language lab, not just a digital learning lab, but this is the inbuilt digital language lab. The way this works is you have all the, you have some aspects of accent, you have sounds, you have word stress, you have intonation, you have sentence stress. So let me go to words. The way this works is there are samples that are already embedded, right? I'll go to cinema. The recording is already there, the sample recording. So as a new learner, I listen to this. These are, I'm going at the lower level, which is words. So here we go.
Big screen.
So big screen. Now you may think, in this room, you may think big screen, how is it so difficult? You will be surprised at how different pronunciation so many people will have. You will hear big screen, you will hear bug screen, right? People from other countries, like let's say the Middle East, will have a completely different, they may call this bij because they don't have the g. So they may call this bij screen. So this serves as
big screen.
This serves as a sample recording, and the next page takes you to the audio recorder with the word that you heard in context. So here we go. Some films are much better on a big screen. So I stop. There we go. So it also transcribes. So if I had missed something or if I had mispronounced something, the transcription will not be the same as what is shown here. So here I get to hear. Some films are much better on a big screen. Okay. So let's say I am not satisfied with what I heard. I can retry again and retry again till I feel I have achieved what I wanted to achieve. You remember when I said that when I was working, I wish I had access to something like this. I said this especially because of the digital language lab, because when I worked with Capital One in India, we actually made a physical language lab so that we could get associates to practice their language, the new hires, yeah, to practice their language. And it took a lot of effort and space. So many computers had to be bought. Yeah. So if we had something like this, I cannot imagine how easy my life would have been, with something that is embedded. So the impact of this just think of all the places that this can be useful. Think of all the customer facing roles that people have. Think of the contact centers where the new hires are hired in batches. This is scalable. The program is scalable. So it saves time, it saves money, and it's scalable, it's measurable. They can track everything. And the best thing, you don't have to hire specialist trainers, right? Team leads can lead this, or just the trainers who are already there, they can lead this. It's not just for the new hires, it can also be implemented for continuous learning programs. If we are talking about corporations, I'm thinking of my experience with Capital One and in some career colleges that I have worked. But this is also great in career colleges, as I just mentioned, because communication training is not just language acquisition, it's also accent, not just how you speak, but the ability to understand and respond to the other's tone, to the speaker's tone. So this was the last thing that I wanted to show you, but I do want to mention from an educationalist point of view that language learning, I have worked in universities. Teaching English as a subject is very different from teaching English as a language, as a skill, right? So I would say language acquisition and speech acquisition, accent acquisition does not happen overnight and does not come from reading material. It comes through practice, repeating things, and that is how we can change a speech pattern and also acquire a new language. So with that, let me quickly summarize what I've said today. Klik2learn offers a scalable, measurable, and effective English language training with the learners at the center of everything it does. It provides learners with the tools it requires. Yeah, thereby it reduces the cost for organizations, for individual teachers, and for the learners too, because they don't have to invest in anything other than this course. It's measurable, visibility is high, and I love it. So, and I'm sure you will too. Our learners love it, and there is a clear improvement. It shows clear improvement for those who actually go through this program. So with that, thank you for your time and attention today, and I'll be happy to answer your questions later in the Q&A. And back to you, Malubika.
Thank you so much, Pavitra. I think I have learned a lot. I'm not sure about the others who are there. A lot of things that I never knew that the platform has. Although I do active demonstration of the platform. Thank you. It was really, really insightful. Thank you so much for that. So quickly jumping on and moving to the next slides and just concluding the discussion. So a couple of things that I would like to highlight for this evening is the gap and the opportunity. I'm sure all of you who would like, a part of this call today, who are part of this, meeting, obviously would love to know what is it in for you. So there are certain things that what we have witnessed over the period of time, regardless in India or what Pavitra said, globally, what is the gap and the opportunity. Now, in an Indian atmosphere, the gap is the tuitions. It is, more aligned to the academics, which is precisely revision on the syllabus. Spoken English, short-term phrases. I mean, you would be surprised to know, I was talking to a gentleman and he said that learn English in 1 hour. You have certain, scams and frauds which is going on in India because there's no certain structured or which is something governed by, the education department. So that lacks there. Apart from that, there is no certification, no hybrid model. There is no standardized curriculum. Parents do not trust coaching classes and high teacher dependency. We all know what is the gap and how, Klik2learn can actually fill up the gap and being the I would say the journey from English from a basic level to intermediate to going to the advanced level, and how well as a tutor, educator, if you are looking to start your English classes, this is a perfect opportunity meant for you. So first of all, it is UK accredited. So there is always a scope of the credibility. There's always a recognition, which is a global platform. It is structured from A0 to C2, which all of you have seen on the platform demonstration part. It has the City and Guilds UK and SQS certificates, which is a very, very big deal if you actually Google and just check what City and Guilds is all about. So it is I would say, a certification which is globally recognized and kind of accepted. Now, weekly classes plus daily app plus learning. The idea is to reduce your workload as a teacher, educator, entrepreneur, edupreneur, you're a tech platform, no matter what background that you come from. The idea is to get more results with less hard work. So you have everything which is asynchronized. You have everything which is there on the platform that you are religiously supposed to ask the students to follow. You as a mentor, an administrator, or a teacher, all you have to do is just to make sure that they are able to do their bit of work which is assigned to them on a regular basis. And you can have a doubt clearing sessions that can be weekly ones. It can be, fortnightly, however it suits. The best part is, which I think we have missed out, it is appropriate and it's meant for all age group. So somebody who is a school goer, a 4-year, 5-year-old, and it is applicable, and somebody who is a adult learners, a corporate employee, somebody who's looking to prepare for the interviews, it is absolutely applicable for them. Of course, it is globally recognized award-winning curriculum. Parents trust certificate. We Indians, we love certificates. That is, what is the outcome? What is the tangible thing that I get out of this particular course is something that we all aspire as parents. Tutor Lite plus AI support learning. Obviously, we have witnessed it in the demo part as well. Now, I will open the floor in a couple of minutes. Before we jump into that, let's talk about the investment part. So this is not a franchisee. This is not a franchising offer. I repeat, this is a pure retail module that we have launched in India. So it's a per student per year cost is 2,000. Yes, you heard me correct. It is per year per student. It is only 2,000 rupees inclusive of GST, what they are supposed to pay. In return, they get 100% access, what you just saw and witnessed today in the demonstration of the platform. So apart from that, we support you as an edupreneur, as a B2B partner, as an institution. We support you with the marketing kit. We help you building the collaterals. We can customize those based on your brand or your institution name. We can design student brochures. We can do posters and launch Klik2learn, launch coaching support. We take care of all what is specified on the screen. And of course, you get a support from a team with years of experience in the market to make sure that you're successful, because your success is equals to our success. And what you have to do is you have to sign up for a 7-day trial if you want to experience it all by yourself. So there is in a 7 days trial, you get 100% access to the admin dashboard, the student logins, the level stats, speaking tools, assignments, and certificates. And of course, what you have to do is you have to just click on the chat box. You will see a link there. My colleague Ayan has just pasted a link there. You can click on the link, fill out the form, or you can scan this particular QR code, which is visible on your screen, and you can fill out the for more detailed candid one-on-one conversation. You can fill this out. I'll allow 30 seconds. I know we're running out of time. Thank you so much for, holding on and hanging on with us. Kindly fill out the form if you would like to know more about this, how you can associate, how you can explore the platform, because this is a chance that you're going to miss if you do not fill out the form. And obviously, if you want, you can leave your contact details, your name on the chat box, and one of our team member will reach out to you. Now, concluding to the Q&A. Now I open the floor. Please, feel free to unmute yourself. Feel free to type in your questions, clear all your doubts which is related to the platform, or if you want to know more about the commercials, the implementation, it's absolutely open. You can ask as many questions as you want to. Let me just make the changes here so you can unmute yourself. Yes, I have made the changes. Yes, Dorich, thank you so much. You're the first one. Please go ahead. You can ask your question. You can unmute yourself. Yes, go ahead.
I cannot. It says okay. Now I'm unmuted. Okay.
Yes.
Earlier it was not allowed. Okay.
Sorry.
Regarding 2,000 per student per year, that is the cost price. You mean to say? Beyond that, we can charge.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. So that is the base that we have to cover for you for using the platform.
That's right. That's for the subscription. That's for the activation of our individual licenses. That's correct.
So before activation, any other fee that we have to pay?
Absolutely not. There's no hidden charges. There are no additional fees that you're liable to pay. No.
So a student will have access for how many, for how long duration?
It's an annual subscription, so for 365 days.
Okay, 1 year. Okay,
Yeah,
1
that's
year.
right. That's right.
After that, they will lose they will lose access. So
Yes,
if they
they
want to
will.
continue, they have to pay again.
That's right. If there is a renewal cost
At
involved.
least 2,000. At least 2,000. That means to say.
That's right. That's right, Aldrich.
Okay, so the Klik2learn logo will be there while we use. Is there any white what they call it white label?
White leveling is possible at a scale. It depends on what are the numbers that we're talking about. But
Okay.
at the moment, if you're just talking at 100, 200 licenses or approximately that, yes, Klik2learn would be specified.
Okay, so like you said, I mean, when you showed the gap, you mentioned the syllabus thing. So if someone requires to learn English as a syllabus, what will happen then?
As in?
Suppose they are appearing for a competitive exam, so they have a syllabus. So in that case, is it helpful to those appearing for competitive exams?
Yeah,
Can I
Pavitra.
take this question? Yeah.
Yes, Pavitra.
Yeah, that was a great question. What I want to say is, when you talk about competitive exams, are you referring to IELTS or are you referring to, what are you referring to, if I may ask you? Dalrich? Okay, so I think he's gone back on mute, but let me anyway give the answer for that. This actually, what you saw, gives the skills enough to understand and to take on anything more beyond that. So if they have a syllabus, if we are looking at our syllabus, let's say a syllabus from a college, it may not be the same that is in Klik2learn, right? Klik2learn offers all the 4 skill sets, like I said, reading, writing, listening, and
LSWR.
speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all the grammar concepts are already covered. They pick up a lot of vocabulary. So from there, for them to take on the syllabus that's given to them will be very easy because
Much
they have
easier.
already reached, they've already reached that point that they can
Okay.
take on anything. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah. Does,
yeah,
did that answer your question?
yeah, you did answer my question. So I'll stay along. I'll see what others ask. Maybe if I have more question, I'll ask.
Mhm.
That's great.
All right,
Thank you,
thanks.
Mr. Raj. Yes, Harpreet, you have been waiting for a long time. Please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, thank you. So continuing with the previous question, the certification would be a city and guild certification, which will be offered along with the 2,000 rupee subscription.
That's right.
Right. So, correct. Second is, so what is the role of a teacher or a trainer when somebody is using a product or a content like this? So, I mean, I could not figure out what is the role of a teacher. How does it going to help teachers to train students on language skills?
Right. So the teacher's role is aligned with the learners. The dependency goes down. It doesn't actually eliminate the teacher altogether. Because remember, when I showed you the reporting, they have high visibility of the progress that their students are making. So there are going to be concepts that some of the students will be struggling in. That's when the tutor steps in. So they can actually have, the tutors can have 1 or 2 sessions weekly, depending on what level the students are. I would always say twice a week is the best. 2 sessions a week is great for teacher to student interaction, because then the teacher can have a targeted intervention. So if the teacher sees that, all right, my student is struggling in this activity and the skill set in this activity is, let's say active and passive at a B1, B2 level, then the teacher steps in, takes the student through that entire module, or the concept of active passive, where is it used, what is the importance, gives him exercises to do. And also these sessions are useful for the teacher to conduct some activities based on where their students are. If it's a group, then she can look at where exactly the group is headed. And like I showed you, the curriculum toolkit, which gives the teacher access uh, to to material depending on the outcome that the teacher wants. So typically in my sessions, I focus on speaking, because that's the best way to get people more comfortable with the language. And I also focus on grammar and identification of errors. So if that makes sense to you, Harpreet.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Pavitra. Just one more thing. So that's probably the intervention required at B1, B2 level. At A0 or A1 level, would not the learners require a proper training session before, allowing them to go through the product on its own? For somebody or a learner at a A0, A1, or a A2 level, since what you shared is more of a facilitator's role rather than a teacher's or a trainer's role. So I just wanted to understand because most learners across would be at A1, A2 level, right, when they sign up for a course. So I just wanted to understand what is the kind of intervention that the trainer is required to do with students at A1, A2 level. That is one. My second point, though not related, is we talked about the AI component. So I really wanted to see where AI works. I couldn't figure out how AI was integrated with their platform.
Right. I'll go to the first question first. That is, you asked a very valid question about A0 and A1, right? And you're right. Most of the people who sign up will be at A2, A1. A0s are not that many, but A1s and A2s definitely. A0, like I said earlier, is for absolute beginners. Like they've never heard of, they've never had any exposure. Now, the very first session that the tutor or the teacher has with these students is to take them through through their learning journey. So they show them the hub, where they start, and everything else is guided. So it's, and like I said, it's gamified mainly because of this. It's a strategy to keep the learners hooked to to the platform, to the app, so that as they go through, there is no guesswork. They don't need to think, what do I do next? Because it seamlessly goes to the next one. If if I may say, when you take I would definitely strongly suggest everybody to do a 7-day trial, because experiencing is the best way to understand how this works. So let's say if somebody is at A0, and I'm actually having a small group of A0s right now, in the 2 sessions that I spend with them as their tutor, what I do is instill confidence in them by doing 1 or 2 of the activities along with them. But beyond that, the vocabulary that they have learned, so there is no grammar at that point. It's only the vocabulary that they are taking in. The words are important. Vocabulary that they have learned, I try to make them speak in those sentences just to instill confidence. So here, the tutor's role is more to instill confidence and to see whether they are moving on in the right direction on the hub. Self-learning kicks in at a very early stage. So the 2 sessions are only for the teacher at that point to take them through the activities and nothing other than that. And maybe just to build rapport and talk to them. So this is for A0, A1, A0s. A1 and A2, when they reach that level, they're already familiar with the hub. They know what to do when. They know they start small grammar. Coming to the question of AI, the first one, the one that I can think of where AI is integrated is the speak module. So work is underway where where they're also extending it to where when they record an answer, AI is able to give them feedback on the recorded part, saying that this was the grammar inaccuracy, or these were the vocabulary items that vocabulary words that you can use other than this. So that's work underway yet, but that's a great question that I'm going to carry to our team, the development team, and maybe Malvika will get back to you about the AI where it's embedded. That's a great question, though, Harpreet.
Yeah, thank you, Pavitra.
Mm-hmm. But Harpreet, did I answer your question about the teacher's role, though?
Yes, you did. But I am a little skeptical still whether we are ready as a community to get into a self-learning mode. We are used to a setup where we need trainers to guide through. Yes, I mean, of course, we have to move forward. Looking at if you want to scale it, there has to be a self-learning mode. So, self-learning, I'm not very confident if languages work with the self-learning model.
Languages work in no. Well, I can vouch for it. It does, because I have been teaching this now for batches over batches in the UK, and people with very little exposure to English. So I have been dealing with those with such students in the UK. It does work, but yes, you're right. The first thing that needs to happen is a change in the mindset, right? That am I learning or not? That's why I call the progression from A0 to A2 is what I call moving from confidence to retention of knowledge, of skills, not retention of the learner, because learners are retained because of the different things they've paid, and also the short modules, the short repeatable exercises that they have. But in the beginning, definitely the teacher has a big hand in showing them how they can learn and quizzing them about it when they come back to the teacher for their session. So if the first session is on a Tuesday, then the teacher can show the activities along with their students. I'm talking only in the Indian scenario, because as you say, self-learning may not be that widely accepted. And then the teacher sets a target All right, we meet again on Thursday. So till the time, I would like you to complete this page, 10 activities, and I want you to complete it. And when you come here, we are going to have a small quiz on what you have completed. What are the vocabulary what's the vocabulary you have picked up? What are the sounds you have heard? So when they come back, start with the quiz, and then the rest of the time, probably just talk to them about how they feel about using this at home. I think over a period of time, the mindset kicks in that this is so much easier than going to class every day, sitting in a class and watching the teacher do something on the board. Again, skill acquisition is not like a subject. They cannot acquire it from a book. They have to practice. That's why I am sold on any kind of platform. I'm not just talking about Klik2learn now, but any kind of digital platform. I'm sold on it because of the practice it gives, both in educational institutions. I have worked in academies, and I have worked in corporations definitely, but even in educational institutions. Try it, Harpreet. Try it, and let me know what you think.
Completely. Since I've used one, and I completely agree. So knowledge and building knowledge into skilling, that's what probably the platforms can help. It gives you emptying time to practice your skills till you perfect. So that works with these platforms. Thank you, Pavitra. Really thankful to you for
Sure.
answering questions.
Sure, but let me know as you try this. Do let me know. I'll really be interested in knowing what you think.
Sure, we'll do that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, Torrich,
think-
thank you. Hope you can unmute yourself.
Now, am I? Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Unmuted. Okay. It takes multiple times trying to get unmuted.
All right, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so I have 3 questions. One is related again to the pricing. The other one is related to CFR level, and the third one is related to. Anyway, I'll come. So as for the pricing, you said 2,000 per student minimum. That is your base price. And suppose we don't have any students for 2-3 months, then we are also out of access to the platform. The trainers.
No, not at all. Not at all. You have an annual subscription now.
Oh, I'm not getting. So for institutes or the freelance trainers.
Yeah.
So what do we have to pay to have access for us?
So see, the bare minimum number of licenses that you can subscribe is 10. And you can go to any numbers for that matter.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are
So
10.
minimum 10 students will have to be there. Then only, otherwise I paid from my pocket, or students come and enroll, but the base is 10. That is 20,000 per year.
That's right. That's absolutely correct. So 10 is the bare minimum threshold, and you can go to any numbers. And we do have other, offers that we have designed for reseller distributors who are working in a mass scale, say maybe with institutions or schools or colleges or any kind of OAT centers as well. So those are different discussions altogether. But yes, for you to answer the B2B, people who are institutions or freelancers like you can start off with 10 numbers.
Okay. Second is regarding CEFR level. Suppose a student enroll as a A0 or A1. It's possible that they reach B2 or C1 level within a year. So will their access be limited to a certain level, or they can go to any level once they completed the previous level?
Okay, I'll ask Pavitra to add on to this, but a couple of things that I would like to mention. What happens is, say, for example, you are a teacher and say I'm one of your first student. As soon as you add me, I get an email activation wherein I click on that. The first thing that I land up while I think Pavitra was displaying was the test. So the test actually allows the platform to analyze my understanding of English language at all perspective for that matter. And then it lands up me to the right course, which is meant for me based on my education, based on my understanding of English language. And Ballpark any of the course, Journey to 1 and Journey 2, Pavitra, correct me if I'm wrong, anything will take bare minimum of 80 to 100 hours for completion. Now, that's the ballpark number for you to go ahead and apply for a certification. So for the first level, you get a certificate which is issued by the Klik2learn, which is the basic model, and the part 2, the Journey 2, which is the intermediate level, which takes you forward, one step forward, is a certificate which is issued by City and Guilds. Am I right, Pavitra? If you would like to add something.
Absolutely, you're right.
Hope, Ulrich, that answer your questions, or did I miss out on anything?
If it is 100 hours, like you said, even if it's 200 hours, so it can be completed in a year. I mean, to say a student can cross from one level to another level within a year. So will they have a limit? Will they get a notification that no, you don't have access to this since you have paid only for this much? Is it like that?
Can I answer this, Malvika?
Yes, Pavitra, please.
Yeah, not at all, Dolrich. These activities are made in such a way that they can be repeated any number of times. So let's say, some students are real enthusiastic, right? They go through it in a huff without really realizing that they haven't really imbibed the material there. So let's say the vocabulary in B1, B2 especially, it gets tougher as they go on. But the enthusiasm in them, and they just want to get through it. Even if they download the certificate, right? The certificate has been downloaded, but that doesn't take away their access from the hub. Now they can go back to the hub and slowly start again, redoing everything, and this time paying attention to new vocabulary. Yes, Dolrich.
Okay, I was muted again. I didn't know that every time I mute, it's very difficult to unmute. So anyway, I get that point. The last question is regarding lesson plans. If we start using your platform, does it mean we'll not have, there is no need to make lesson plans?
Absolutely none, because the modules are already aligned in such a way that it has an objective, a learning outcome, and what are the activities that are necessary. So it reduces the prep time for the teacher completely. The teacher now is able to do what she really wants to do, which is encouraging and helping the students go towards certification, and more importantly, make sure that the learner is able to produce the skills, speaking, for example, writing, for example. So early pain areas are identified because she really does not have to do any prep work. Very early on, pain areas are identified, and interventions, targeted interventions. Someone is struggling in one particular area, the teacher focuses on that. So yes, everything is embedded.
So no need for lesson plan. Okay, understood. So regarding certificates, there are two types. I need to know, I want to know what is the use of the first certificate, that is Klik2learn certificate. If City and Guild is more valuable, if City and Guild is more valuable, more globally recognized, what is the need for a Klik2learn certificate?
Because that gives them the
sense of accomplishment. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Or okay, something to show off, something to prove among their peers, but not as an official proof.
Well, no, it is an official proof that they have completed their levels.
Okay.
It is an official proof.
It is for whom? To show whom?
To show anybody. For example, if somebody is applying for a job and they require them to show them that they have completed. In India, I don't think they really see any English certification in most jobs, because they mostly have English training once they enter the job centers. But let's say somebody is going to UK, for example, somebody is traveling to UK, they've got a job there. They can show this. Or if they're going into into, let's say, a training institute to get themselves trained in OET, OET, right? For medical, for nurses and doctors, this can be used as proof to show that their starting level need not be at the beginning, like the A0 or the A1 level. Yeah.
Okay, understood. Thank you so much. I have no further question.
Well, thank you for all the questions. That was great.
Thank you so much. It's already 7:30. We would like to wrap up for the evening. Any last questions? Please unmute yourself, or if you can, if you would like to type it, or if you would like to, have more detailed conversation. I've just kind of put in on the text the link wherein you can fill out the form. So it gives a basic idea who you are, and then we can connect you for a detailed discussion. We would love to talk and kind of clear all your doubts, and hopefully it was an insightful session. Please fill out the form, and any further questions, we're open for the last one for the evening. Thank you so much, Dodrich. Thanks a ton. Okay, so we have a question for teachers. Is there any chances that they can use and practice this first? Yes. So we do not have the practicing session as an for an annual subscription, but yes, we have a 7 days trial which is open. So we can create an account. You can explore every part of the platform. You can explore every detail of the certification, the courses, the materials. You have 100% access. Please do fill out the form, or if you can just leave in your email address in the chat box. We'll create an account, and you can have and experience a 7 days trial. Any more questions? All right, thank you so much. I think, Pavitra, you were the star. You were the star. I kind of loved it, of the entire, elaborative discussions and the questions that you answered. So I got to learn a lot of things from today, from Klik2learn to Pavitra to learn. So thank you so much for that. Insightful evening. Thank you all for being a wonderful audience and being a part of this journey with us. Hope it was as insightful as learning experience as I had this evening. And we hope to speak to you very, very soon. And if you have any questions, you can drop in your phone numbers. You have our contact details, etc. You can reach out to me or any of my team members, and we will love to answer and take them forward. Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Malvika, for being such a great host. Thank you.
Thank you
and
so much.
If others are still there, I would definitely encourage everyone to try it. You have a trial session, as Malvika said. And guys, as you go through, if you have any questions or any kind of discussion that you want to have with us, me or Anne, please let Malvika know, and we can,
Yes.
we can have something, work something out. Thank you, everyone. I need to step out now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.